Good morning. Um, I literally just woke up, and the reason why I wanted to do this video as I woke up is because I am very, very stressed. I am having a bad spiral. So last time this happened to me was about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to do a video about it, and I just didn't, and now it's happening again, and I was like, let me do it in real time with what is happening with me at the moment. So usually I would journal this, as in write my problem down, but I'm going to share it here because I think it's important that you see in within the process these moments are going to come, and you need a way to override a lot of your what is happening in your body so that you can work with your mind and your feelings. With all of this, your feelings are very important in the process of shifting from an old identity to a new identity. So just to give you context, I quit my job 3 months ago, and I quit because I was going through a what do you call it, a conflict resolution with my manager. And within that conflict resolution, even though I initiated the whole thing, I realized that I actually don't belong here because this is not how I want my life to look like. Which was the reason why I left employment in the first place. One of the reasons was because the nature of the system does not work for me. It never has. I love a lot of autonomy. I love being proactive, and unfortunately that space does not welcome that kind of vibe. So I knew I was always going to have problems, which means I was going to be miserable, because if I'm not creating and solving problems and kind of doing and doing and doing, I won't thrive in any space. So I decided to leave that job. So now when I got that, for me to go back to work is because I was in this position that I'm in right now, in terms of how my body is reacting, the stress. So I've got two clients who haven't paid. One hasn't paid for over a month. The other hasn't paid just for like 2 weeks or so. And end of this week, I'm moving. And so all those funds are budgeted for, and I'm moving into my house. And, I'm stressed. I'm like, and I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just like, but I recognize in this moment, I'm back to that feeling that would usually want to go back to work, would usually want the safety, that would want all of that. And I have to accept that it is just part of the process of shifting from the old to the new. In other words, finding a way to mitigate myself, or rather regulate myself when I get into this position. So I'm going to go through the process with you in terms of what I do. So last time when this happened, which was 3 weeks ago, it took me about a week and a half to stop spiraling. Like, it was intense spiraling. And I didn't know what to do. In fact, it's not that I didn't know, I forgot, because now I was back in my old identity, the one that panics, and I didn't know how to regulate myself. It was very, very difficult. Oh God, I did not like where I was at that time. And the main stress is financial. Now, one of the things I've also realized, everyone has their thing. Some people, their thing is bad relationships. Mine is bad money. Other people, it will be a bad job. But we all have that one thing. So it's not one thing. Let me call it a. Oh, I'm so stressed. Like, I can feel my body's like. It's like we all have that area that always repeats itself. Because I was asking myself, but why are other people thriving with financially and I'm like this? And it was like, that's my area that always needs work. Not always, but that is my a mountain. And in this instance, I'm the mountain. I love the title of that book. I still have to get started on it. I'll be honest, I haven't started on the book. So, right now, I'm very afraid. I'm very uncertain. And I don't know what to do, right? I feel like I'm failing. Those feelings of failure are there. That voice that tells me, yeah, you see, yeah, that's what happens. These things never work for you. With you, it just never works. You are just back to the old way. It's there, it's going. So I'm going to take you through what I do when it gets like this. So that, and I think for me, it was just so that you see that in as much as I post all these things, it's not, the ride is not easy. That's what I say. I will go through this with you so that you see that these moments are there, they're real. And sometimes even I don't know what to do. Right. So the first thing I learned is EFT. So EFT is emotional. Oh God, let me Google it. I always forget what it's called, and I've been doing it for so long. But no man, tapping. It's known as emotional freedom techniques, and I mean you touch on various parts of your body. They call them. It's okay. Let me read it for you. It says it's also known as tapping. Is a self-help method that combines elements of cognitive therapy and acupuncture to manage stress, anxiety, and emotional physical issues. So it's a technique that I use to calm my nervous system down. So I've got a few EFTs that I have created over the months, and I'm going to use the short one that I have now, just to remind myself of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, right? So you just take a deep breath. Okay, so you start on this point. Even though I don't see the money in my bank account right now, I deeply and completely accept and love myself. Even though my bank account is in the red, I know that's not the full story. And even though I feel anxious, I'm open to releasing the stress and becoming an open pathway for flow. I want to repeat that. Even though I don't see the money in my account right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my bank account is in the red, I know that's not the full story. See, I'm feeling it here. Even though I feel anxious, I'm open to releasing the stress and becoming an open pathway to flow. This stress, I feel it rising. I allow it to come up and out. I acknowledge the fear and the frustration. And I breathe into it. I remind myself that the 3D is not it. The system is not it. I am choosing truth, not illusion. Money is on its way to me now. I'm an open and worthy channel for a bud. So, going to do that again. I'm going to go through a few of these rounds, just one more, just so that we calm it all down. Even though I don't see the money in my bank account right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though my bank account is in the red, I know that's not the full story. And even though I feel anxious, I'm open to releasing the stress and becoming an open pathway for flow. So, the stress, I release it. I allow it to come up, to come out. I acknowledge the fear and the frustration. When I breathe into it. Ooh. I remind myself that 3D is not it. This system is not it. I'm choosing the truth, not the illusion. Money is on its way to me now. I'm an open and worthy channel for abundance. Oh, excuse me. I am safe. I am loved. And I am supported. I see the shift before it even arrives. And so it is, and so it is. Oh, I feel better. Oh, I feel better. I don't operate with the systems of this world. I operate in divine law. And I have a divine system that belongs to me, a divine abundance that belongs to me, that was mine when I got into this world, and I have every right to it. So I do not work according to the systems of this world. I walk according to the system that is divinely mine. God is my supply. The Lord is my shepherd, and that means I have everything because I am everything. I have all because all is within me. Oh yeah, oh yeah. God is my infinite supply. I do not rely on man for my supply. I rely on my divine supply. My God divine supply. That was mine from the day I was born, and I have every right to it. Yes, girl. Everything works together for my highest good. I release the fear, struggle, and strife. I'm so grateful to know that the grace of God is my sufficiency in all things. In all things. That reminds me of another tapping that I love, and it's beautiful. And I think I sent it to my sister. I need to find it because I can never find where I save anything, to be honest. Files. I think this is it. Save. Now open it. Hey! Naughty, naughty. Okay. So, I know this is a bit long, but I'm just taking you through what I do. The grace practice, yeah. Let's see. There we go. So I want to share, so one of the things that I've noticed, so I was watching, everybody has their practices and what? They're all beautiful and I love it. And one of the things that I, realize is that with everything, because, I'm of the school of Scoville Shin, and with everything that I do, I must remember to say it must be under grace in the perfect way. Always under grace in the perfect way. Because we sometimes um, do these practices. Like I've seen the pattern of, oh God, now my hair. Anyway, I've seen the practice of when we do this, and then you'll be like, but I wanted money, but now I have to work so hard. I wanted this, but now I have to. And it's like, and they say it's the price. And it's like, there is another price that doesn't have to be like that. I've also seen that, I've experienced it myself. So, I think you can see the difference in my demeanor after that tapping. I feel so much better because sometimes you just need to remember who you are. This whole process is reminding your body who you are, because your body, I've realized that the body has a mind of its own, because a lot of the experiences are felt by the body more than the mind. So your body remembers, and then it triggers those voices in your head to kind of, oh my God, you're whack, you're this, you're that. And I have to remember that, my sister, I've got a sister she said to me, for some people are sitting in their beds and they owe somebody like 100 million rand, and you're stressing about 50K. Don't worry about it, it doesn't matter, because there's someone who's stressing about more, and guess what, they are carrying on, life is going on, so your life must go on too. And it's something that, as much as it's in some places it's a shitty attitude to adopt, but if it's gonna keep me sane for the moment, I will take it. You take it, you just take it. So I've also got a grace tapping that I did a while back, and I'm gonna go through it with you, and it's with this prayer that I just shared. So this prayer that I did with you now, and it's in this thing. It's a prayer I got from Michael Beckwith when he came to South Africa many years ago, and he met up with, like, my mom met him before we knew of Michael Beckwith many years ago, and I think it was in the early 2000s, I think, when he came, and or early or late 90s, I can't remember. And there was this booklet that he had that had these little prayers. They called it agape something, I can't remember, but the book. And in this book, this prayer, my mom used to make us say this prayer every day. I now recognize the omni activity of God in my life, for God is all that I am. This gift of grace always lifts me, carries me, sustains, and maintains me, convinced that everything always works together for my highest good. I now release all fear, struggle, and strife. I am so grateful to know that the grace of God is my sufficiency in all things, and so it is. That was the prayer we used to pray as kids, like before we go to school, or our morning prayers with my mom. So I'm going to share. So what I did is I created an EFT which incorporated that prayer with a few other things. Okay, so let me take us through it, and then, if you want it, just let me know and I'll share the document with you, or I don't know, maybe I'll do a clip. I don't know. Just let me know how you want this. Okay. Even though I sometimes forget how deeply held I am by grace, I now return to truth. I recognize God's presence in me and around me, and I choose to walk in trust. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Yeah, girl. And I rest in divine sufficiency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I now recognize the omni activity of God in my life. For God is all that I am. This gift of grace always lifts me, carries me, sustains, and maintains me. I am convinced that everything always works together for my highest good. Yes, girl. And every day, in every way, my life gets better and better. Yes. I love the highest and best of people and things. And guess what? They love me too. I now release all fear, struggle, and strife. I choose peace. I choose trust. I give thanks for this perfect day. Where miracles follow miracles and wonders never cease. Thank you, Father, for you have heard me. The grace of God is my sufficiency in all things. I walk in divine alignment with ease and expectation. Amen to that. Yes. Okay. I now recognize the omniactivity of God in my life. Grace lifts me, grace carries me, grace sustains me. I release all fear and I walk in peace. I cast this burden unto the Christ in me and I walk in love, I walk in power, and I walk in sound mind. I'm deeply grateful to know that I am always supported. The grace of God is my sufficiency in all things. Thank you for this perfect day. Miracles follow miracles, and wonders never cease. And so it is, and so it is. Amen. Woo! Yeah, there we go. So I feel better. I remember, my body is calm because the stress was killing me. It was so bad. It was so bad. Oh my God. Ooh, hallelujah. So thank you. And that's what I do to calm myself down. So what I'm going to do after this is go through all the things that are my reminders on what I must do. So now I'm going to go for a walk and do my affirmations. You can't do your affirmations in a state of panic. Like right now, I feel so good. I feel so in line and like aligned with myself and this new identity that I'm in, the one that doesn't worry, the one that knows that everything is taken care of, the one that knows that I have seen miracles after miracle after miracle in my life. So I know that anything is possible. I live in the possibility of things because anything is possible. As much as bad is possible, which is what my body wants me to get stuck on, good is also possible, which is I've seen. When I left my job, everything was okay. It's like God was like, here you go, ta-da, here you go, because my mind was in the right place. But as time is going, things are starting to settle. Things are starting to I don't know what the word is, but my old identity is wanting to come back. So these moments are to remind myself. So I created all these things. I've got a whole pack of remember. It's called remember. So I always think of Oprah. So one of the things I have as a reminder is Oprah's story about the color purple and how she was obsessed and all that. And she really thought she was going to get that role. And she went out and she was singing I Surrender All. And I've always used that technique, by the way, but with a different song. The song is called, it was also Michael Beckwith's wife. In fact, that's when I found the song, was back then. My mom bought, it was a cassette tape. I think it was a tape, yeah. And the song goes, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. And with my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. And I'll sing that in the shower. I will sing that in my walks. Let me tell you, walking is very important when you're doing your walks and affirmations and releasing this. I don't know what it is. There's just something about walking that allows your body to also, well, it's walking. So your body can also release it. So I just wanted to share when I'm in my stress what it looks like. So you can see I'm completely shifted, like completely. And phew, the stress was killing me, but I know that everything is taken care of. I do know that everything is, because I have everything I need. I have absolutely everything that I need. And another thing that I wanted to share that was dropped in my spirit the other day is that even with like now, I am doing a lot of things that are not what I did before, but at the same time, there's still a lot of the old ways that I did things that are still there. So, for example, I mean, I know it seems insignificant, but it's important. I'm realizing it's important because if you want to stay in your new identity, you have to live in that new identity. So, one of the things with me is that, I don't dress up every day. Like, I think I've decided I'm going to cut my hair because I feel like it's getting in the way of my greatness. It's what I do, and I feel like things are getting in the way of my greatness. It's not even, and this time around, it's not even a money issue or whatever. It's just in the way. I feel like I want to wear makeup again. I want to, and my hair is always a point of contention for me. I like to keep it short, but I always want to grow it as well. But I'm going to cut it so that, and just, dressing up, waking up. I don't shower like early. I shower at like 11 instead of like, I want to shower early or go for my walks in the identity that I want. And why I speak of that, because when I left my job, before I left, that was all I used to say is, oh my God, I want to just drop my son off at school and then go for my morning walks, come home, do some work, call clients, whatever. So I'm doing some of that stuff, but the habits in terms of what I am like when I work from home are still the same. So I'm not creating new habits like instead of working from home, go to a coffee shop. Like I need to shift so that all of me shifts, so that even when that old identity wants to come back, it doesn't have anywhere to land. I can't give it anywhere to land. I have to shift. I have to glitch the matrix completely so that the new identity can solidify, with me. So some of the things that you also have to learn is that yes, God is there. Yes, the affirmations are there. Yes, but you have to decide what the new identity is and what it looks like and what this new identity does. So even in my old job, I had things like I'll go have meetings with clients. I'm going to do my books because I was like, this is what I want to do. I've always wanted to do this kind of work. And I'm going to do, all of this, whatever. So let me not say whatever. So I was going to do my books, have a great life outside of work in terms of, going for walks, going to museums, going to like just having a healthy lifestyle that the way that I wanted. I always say that I want to curate a housewife lifestyle, even though I don't have a husband, but I want to be a mom. I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I want to be there for my son when he comes back from school, and I need to facilitate that within my own life. So for example, when he comes back from school, in the past I would just leave him in front of the TV because I had to work. So now I have to shift that. So the old things that I did have to change so that I can shift my whole identity. It can't just be a part of it, it has to be all of it. And it's hard because sometimes, because you're not that person, you don't know what to do, within a 24-hour period. Let's say 16-hour period, because at least you get to sleep. But sometimes I don't know what to do. I'll be like, because I'm so used to what I do. You know what I mean? So I'll go online and like, okay, what must I do with my child? Okay, we've done the puzzles, we've done, the crafting, we've done, and I'm like, and one of the things I saw with myself, I spend way too much time on screen. Me, I spend too much time on screen, so my son spends too much time. So now what's happening is that my dream was for my child, that my child's gonna have activities. I didn't realize how much I would need to also change for my child to do those activities. So it was like, so it's yeah, it's a lot of like aha moments for me, that okay, I also have to participate in this more than I thought. And sometimes that's why it's so slow, because we don't realize how much of the things we always do we still do, and how we are struggling ourselves to shift them. So yes, we're doing all this work with the affirmations and the visualizing and all that, but we, in terms of our actions are still the same, so now, like, for example, I don't watch movies. Like, even now, I'm trying to stay away from, I don't want to have Netflix. I don't want to have, just for a little while, until I get into a groove where I can leave watching and binging for the weekend, and not every weekend, like maybe a Saturday night only. So I'm also trying to find ways. So I don't have the great a detailed detail of what my life will look like. I'm also keep adding as I go, because I didn't realize how much time I would have to replace with the old with the new. So now, for example, I want to take, they have things where there's basketball. I want him to go watch basketball because he loves basketball. Me and him must go watch sports games. But, we need to have a life, and that's what I want for us. So I need to move away from screens. I need to move away from TikTok, because I absolutely love TikTok. I need to move away from all those things so that I can move into this new identity. So it's not just about the affirmations. Your actions need to reflect that this is what you want. You actually need to walk in that identity. You need to be that person. And it's going to take time for you to be that person, which is why you find the shift can be like, now I had this moment of, oh my God, because the old identity is still very strong in me. Why? Because most of my life hasn't shifted into the new identity. Um, if you want to talk identity in more detail, because it did take me a long time. When people used to talk about it, I'll be like, what the hell? We can do that. Just let me know. All right. Sorry this was so long, but it's because I just wanted you to go through the process of how I regulate myself when I get into the state of mind. All right. Remember, I do have that little booklet that is, you'll see the link is there. It's a bit.ly link with my just when I need grounding, and I need, like now I'm going to use it. I'm going to actually use it this week, just to ground myself, just to talk to my body, just to talk to my mind. It's just a book that I use when it's like really hard, and I use it 3 times a day. So if not the book, I will have EFTs that I do 3 times a day. I'll have a journal. So what I do is that in the morning I do a journal, and I'll write my thoughts and what I want and all that. Then in the afternoon I do a meditation, and I read the journal prompts that I put in there, like my journal, like, oh, what I wrote, and just to kind of like get into the feeling, because I think the important thing is to keep the feeling, because I know they say keep the vibration high. I never understood the concept of vibration, but I understand the concept of feeling. Your feeling needs to feel good all the time. That's the whole aim, is feel good, so that when you are doing the affirmations and when you are walking in this new identity, you must feel good about it, so that everything can start feeling good with you. I will also be releasing, I've got a journal that I'll be releasing. This corner, it's called Late Bloomers Corner for a reason. And I'll be sharing more about that, I guess, in the next few days. Thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you for your time. And I hope this helped you in some way or the other. And let's stay in touch. All right. Toodles.